Good morning, students. We'll start with the building technology and architectural planning. First, we'll see the teaching scheme and examination scheme for this subject. Teaching scheme, in a week there are 3 lectures and 4 hours for the practical for each batch. Okay, that is in a week you have to perform twice that practical and three lectures per week. Uh, if you consider examination scheme, there will be a in semester for 30 marks. Already you are given in the first year also in semester examination. Okay, and end semester examination of 70 marks at the end. It will be conducted for 70 marks, and term work will be there for the 50 marks. Okay, so this will be your exam scheme for this subject. Basically, these subjects in the new syllabus that consists with the building technology and material of the second year first semester in the old course, and architectural planning and design of building during second semester of second year in the old course. Now they are taken the content from both the subjects, and new subject is introduced as per this 2020 course, building technology and architectural planning. First we will see the content of this subject. This subject consists of 6 units. First unit, which consists of introduction to building construction and masonry. Okay, that is again divided into 2 parts. That is, the first part is the introduction to building construction, that is A part of unit number 1, and B part consists of the masonry. In the A part, introduction to building construction, as per National Building Code, how to define the building, then different types of building. We will see that residential building, public building, educational building, is it? But as per National Building Code, how the buildings are classified, that will be included in part A, and one small introductory part of introduction to automation is also included in A part. B part of unit number 1 consists of masonry. मॅसोनरी म्हणजे सगळ्यांना कदाचित कळलं असेल, म्हणजेच बांधकाम. मग ती वीट बांधकाम असेल किंवा दगडी बांधकाम असेल, दॅट इज द आयदर इट विल बी अ ब्रिक मॅसोनरी or it will be a stone masonry. Okay, so that different types of masonry, which materials are required for to construct that masonry, that is either brick or stone, then their qualities, and when we do the construction of this masonry, different bonds are there, like that bricks are placed in a different positions. Okay, that is called as the bonds. So that different types of bonds, that part is there. Then in the latter part we will see the formwork and casting procedure for reinforced concrete column or different members of RCC. It may be a beam, it may be a slab. Okay, so this consists of the masonry part of unit number 1. Then unit number 2, which consists of building bylaws and introduction to architectural drawing. Again, that is divided in 2 parts. A part is building bylaws and B part is introduction to architectural drawing. Okay, in A part we will see different building bylaws. Now what is the meaning of that bylaws? If you have to construct any bungalow, is it whatever your size of the plot, but we have to keep some open spaces all around your bungalow, is it? So what are the rules for that to construct that, is it? So that are nothing but the bylaws. How much open space we have to keep from side, how much open space or how much margins we have to keep from rear side. पाठीमागच्या बाजूला किती मार्जिन ठेवायची आहे, समोरच्या बाजूला किती मार्जिन ठेवायची आहे, साईडच्या बाजूला दोन्ही साईडच्या बाजूला किती मार्जिन ठेवायची, हे सगळे ते बायलॉज मध्ये इन्क्लूड केलेले असतात. ओके, अगेन व्हॉट इज FSI or FAR, that is floor space index or floor area ratio, how much the permissible FSI or FAR, that part we have to see in the A part of unit number 1. Then height regulations for the building. Okay, horizontal circulation, vertical circulation, that part is there. Horizontal circulation, that is the different means like passages, corridors are used for the horizontal circulation. For vertical circulation, staircase, lifts, escalators, these are used. Okay, so that part we will see in A, that is building bylaws of unit number 2. Then in B part of unit number 2, introduction to architectural drawing. Okay, where we will see the principles of building planning. There are different principles. Might in your first year engineering, you might have studied that aspect, prospect, privacy, luminance, grouping, ventilation. These are the different principles that we have to study. That some diagram is there that we have to study in detail over there. And then principles of architectural design, principles of architectural design relation between forms and functions. That part we have to see. Then we have to go for the different concepts like what is line plan, what is develop plan, what is elevation, what is section or sectional elevation, how to select a scale. Is it? When we have to draw any plan, we will select different scale. That is 1 is to 1000. It means if there is 1000 mm on a ground, it represents 1 mm on a drawing. Okay. If we see any map, there you will see at the in a one corner scale is given 1 is to 100, 1 is to 200, 1 is to 1000, like that. So how to use that scale? That part is there. Then we will that, as I told you, we will study different line plans, develop plans, elevation, section. What are that? How to draw that? Okay, their introduction is there. That part we will study in the B part of unit number 2. Then when we go for the unit number 3, which consists of building components. Okay, if we consider any building, what are their different components? It will be divided into different parts. That is, one will be a doors and windows, and other will be a arches and lintels. Okay, doors and windows, name itself indicate different types of doors, different types of windows, what are their shape, what are their sizes, that part is there. Okay, then if we go for the arch and lintel, all of you know what is arch. Is it? If we see old bridges in the railways, you will see that arch like structures, arch bridge we will call it as. Is it? Or different old buildings or above the windows, that arch like structure is provided over there. Is it? And lintels, all of you know what it means. Above the opening to take the load which will come in above the opening and to transfer it on the sides, that lintels are provided. We are going to study in detail at that time. I will show you that figure, what is that lintel, where it is provided, their figure. Okay, what are different types of lintel, what are different materials are used to construct these lintels. That part we are going to study over there in the B part. Okay, then in the third unit, flooring and roofing material, that part also we are going to study. There is a difference between the floor and the roof. Floor is one which supports furniture, that will called as a floor, and roof which is above or which will cover these all components, it is called as the roof. Then what are different roofing materials, that part is there in unit number 3. Okay, then in unit number 4, residential building and green building, that part is there. As I told you, in unit number 1, we are going to see the different types of buildings. As per National Building Code, there also that part of residential building will come, but there is only how that buildings are classified, that part is there. But when we go for unit number 4, there details will be given for that residential building. Actually, it is a first type or type A of the as per National Building Code, that residential building, a type A building. Okay, that we are going to study in detail. There may be a bungalows, independent row houses, then twin row houses or twin bungalows, flats, apartments. That part is there, or that part is there included in the residential building. Okay, how to draw their plan, their develop plan, their elevation, sectional elevation. Is it that we are going to study over there? And different types of staircase, mainly in your syllabus, dog-legged staircase is there, and quarter ton staircase is there. Okay. Now, what is dogleg staircase or what is quarter ton staircase? That again in detail we are going to study uh, when we go for unit number 4. Okay. Then unit number 5, which consists of planning of public buildings. Okay. So as per the National Building Code, first type is residential building and almost all other types are the public buildings. Okay, in unit number 4, in the A part, we are going to study the residential building. In unit number 5, we are going to study the planning of the public building. Public building may be an industrial building, it may be a commercial building, it may be a school, it may be a colleges, it may be hostels, auditoriums, restaurants, hotels, primary healthcare centers, hospitals, shopping complex, sports complex, vegetable market, post office, bank buildings, or many more. Okay, so that we are going to study the planning of these building, which we are going to study in unit number 5. Now, students, this planning phase is very important because here we are going to only plan the buildings. But as you proceed for the further class, when you go for the third year, first semester, there you have to design these buildings. Is it? If you are not able to plan the building, then you are not able to design the building. Is it? So this subject is very important because it is a basic part. Planning, that is the basic part. Okay. So you have to study each and every part of this because in residential building, what are the requirements? In public buildings, what are the requirements that must be known to you? Because for residential building, suppose we consider a door, how much is the width of the door? That will be different for the residential building. But if we go for the public building, how much will be the opening? How much will be the width of that door, or how much will be the width of that opening? That will be a different. You must know that. How much will be the height of the door in residential building? How much will be the height of door in public building? These all criteria must be known to you. Then and then only you are going to plan the building. And if you are able to plan the building, then only you are going to design the building. Okay. So we have to study these all part very carefully, and we have to understood all that part. Of course, you are going to draw these buildings. You are going to draw the line plan, develop plan, then their elevation, their sectional elevation in this course. During your practicals, you are going to draw the plans of all these buildings. Okay. This is included in unit number 5. I think I have forgot one part B of unit number 4, that is the green building. Nowadays, it is a common practice, construction of green building. So what is the green building? What are their salient features? What are the benefits? How to plan, or what are the concepts involved in the green building? How will be its operation? By considering the sun and wind diagram, all these parts will be included in unit number 4. Okay. So, and the last unit is the town planning and legal aspects. If you have to construct any residential building, any public building, you have to take the approval from the appropriate authorities, depending in which locality you are living, or in which area you are living, whether there is a municipality or whatever that regulatory authority. Okay, so you have to take the appropriate permission from these authorities. Now, what are the documents required for that permissions? तुम्ही बोली भाषेमध्ये काही वेळेस बोलता की बिल्डिंग प्लॅन मला सँक्शन करून घ्यायचा आहे, की अमुक एक ठिकाणी तुम्हाला फ्लॅट घ्यायचा आहे पण त्या बिल्डिंगचा प्लॅन सँक्शन नाहीये, असं तुम्ही बोली भाषेत बोलता. की अमुक एक ठिकाणी तुम्हाला प्लॉट घ्यायचा आहे पण तो प्लॉट येलो झोन मध्ये नाहीये, तो प्लॉट ग्रीन झोन मध्ये आहे, किंवा तो प्लॉट दुसऱ्या झोन मध्ये, असं तुम्ही बोली भाषेत बोलता. Is it? So what is that? That all part will be included over here in the town planning and legal aspects, where part A of this unit number 6 deals with the town planning, and the part B deals with the safety aspects and services. If we consider the town planning, what is their necessity? Then what is land use zoning? That is, what are the different zones? Is it? Then what is NA? That is non-agriculture land. Then what is the sanction procedure? Then what are the documents required for a sanctioned particular plan, or what are the documents required to make a particular plot as a non-agriculture plot? Okay. And then what is 712 abstract? 712 उतारा. सगळ्यांना बोली भाषेत माहित असतो 712 उतारा. When we say 712 abstract, all of you are having confusion. So what is that 712 abstract? What it indicates? That is a very important document. As far as any land is concerned, that is very important document. पण बऱ्याचशा मुलांना किंवा बऱ्याचशा विद्यार्थ्यांना 712 उतारा कसा रीड करावा हेच कळत नाही. फक्त 712 उतारा माहित असतो की 8 माहित असतो, पण तो काय आहे, तो कसा रीड करावा. ओके, सो दॅट पार्ट इज इन्क्लुडेड ओव्हर देअर. देन that concept of TDR, list of document to be submitted to local authority, as I told earlier, and introduction to the RERA, RERA. Okay, you commonly heard that term RERA. What is that RERA? Okay, so that all part we are going to study in the A part of unit number 6. And then last part of the unit number 6 as well as your syllabus is the safety aspects and services. Again, that important part in any building is the safety aspect. Safety aspect as far as fire is concerned. Okay, so that fire, grading of occupancies by fire load, that is we have to find out the fire load, then we have to do the grading. Then how much is the evacuation time for that particular building, different fire escape elements, and need for earthquake resistant structures. So this part will be included in the safety aspect. And one more introductory part is there, that is the noise and acoustics and ventilation, the necessity and different types of ventilation. That part is there. So this covers your syllabus for the building construction and architectural planning. Okay, sorry, building technology and architectural planning. Okay, whole 6 units. Now today we will start with unit number 1, that is the introduction to building construction and masonry. There we will start a part of that, which is deal with introduction to building construction. Okay, now first, how you are going to define a building. If anyone asks you define a building, how you are going to define a building, or which structure you will call it as a building or building construction. Yes, that National Building Code will define the building as any structure. See, each and every word is very important. That's why whole definition I have written over here. Any structure for whatsoever purpose and whatsoever material constructed. कुठलाही स्ट्रक्चर आहे, पर्पज कुठलाही असेल त्याचा, construction material कुठलाही असेल. That's why I called for whatsoever purpose and whatsoever material constructed, and every part thereof whether used as human habitation or not. म्हणजे त्याचे कुठला पार्ट ह्युमन यूज करत असतील किंवा नसतील, whether it can be used or not used, and includes foundations, plinths, walls, floors, roofs, chimneys, plumbing and building services, fixed platform, veranda, balcony, cornice or projection. Okay, so these are the different parts of the building. After saying this, what is building and their classification, we are going to see each one of these. Okay, that is the foundation, plinth, walls, floors, roofs, chimneys, plumbing and building services, fixed platforms, veranda, balcony, cornice or projections, part of a building or anything which is associated with the building, or any wall enclosing or intended to enclose any land. What I am saying, any wall enclosing or intended to enclose any land or space and signs, and outdoor display structures. So all these parts together is called as a building, or all these parts together is defined as a building. Okay, students, I am repeating, any structure for whatsoever purpose, कुठलाही पर्पज असेल, and of whatsoever material constructed, कुठल्याही मटेरियलनी कन्स्ट्रक्ट केलेले असतील, thereby used by human or not. Humans use करत असतील किंवा नसतील. And includes foundations, plinth, walls, floors, roofs, chimneys, plumbing and building services. मग त्यामध्ये इलेक्ट्रिकल सर्व्हिस असेल किंवा अजून कुठल्या सर्व्हिसेस असतील, फिक्स प्लॅटफॉर्म्स, वरांडा, balcony, projections, part of building, or anything which is associated with building, or any wall enclosing or provided to enclose any land or space and sign and outdoor display structures. All these are called as a building as per National Building Code. Okay. Now here, see at the end, tents, shamianas, temporary or shelters, etc., erected for temporary and for some occasions. ओके, म्हणजे बघा तुमच्याकडे कुठला कार्यक्रम आहे, तुम्ही शामियाना प्रोव्हाइड केलाय, तुमच्या घरी कोणाचं, तुमच्या भावाचं, बहिणीचं किंवा नातेवाईकाचं कोणाचं लग्न आहे, तुम्ही टेंट्स प्रोव्हाइड केले. ओके, सो दो यू आर प्रोव्हाइडेड दिस और दो यू आर इरेक्टेड दिस स्ट्रक्चर्स बाय टेकिंग द परमिशन्स फ्रॉम द अप्रोप्रिएट अथॉरिटीज. अप्रोप्रिएट अथॉरिटीज कडून जरी तुम्ही परमिशन घेऊन ते स्ट्रक्चर्स प्रोव्हाइड केलेले असतील, जसे की टेंट, शामियानाज, ज्याला मंडप वगैरे म्हणतो आपण बोली भाषेत. Okay, so these are not considered as a building. The temporary structures are not considered as a building. Okay, so understood what is building? Next. Now, what are the different types of buildings? Okay, I think you are not saying that last part, occupancy M, that will be a miscellaneous. Okay, I'm going to tell you when it will come. Now, if we see different types of building as per NBC, that is the National Building Code, which will give the different types of building. Okay, every building or part thereof and land used shall be classified according to use or the character of its occupancy as a building of occupancy, depending on the use of that building. Okay, that will be classified as the occupancy A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H up to M. Okay, so it is mentioned over here. If you see, refer that slide, it will be mentioned over here. Now occupancy A, so this is nothing but the classification of the building. Occupancy A to last one is occupancy M, that is the miscellaneous. Okay, now occupancy A, that is a residential building. Okay, in residential building it includes bungalow for a single family where you are residing, is it? That bungalow, it will have an independent access. Okay, directly it is attached to the road. असं होत नाहीये त्या बंगलो मध्ये की तुम्ही एका कोणाच्या बंगल्यामधून दुसऱ्याच्या बंगल्यामध्ये जाताय आणि मग रस्त्यावर जाताय. That National Building Code will not define it as a bungalow. Okay, it will have independent access. Okay, हा एक पार्ट त्यामध्ये इन्क्लूड होतो. म्हणजे ते ऑक्युपन्सी ए रेसिडेन्शियल म्हणतोय आपण, त्यामध्ये परत वेगवेगळे पार्ट दिले, A1, A2, A3 लाईक दिस. काही ठिकाणी ट्विन बंगलो असतात बघा. Is it? One wall is common, is it? And on both the sides, two bungalows are there. That is also a residential. Okay. Row houses are still, that is also called as a building. Flats or apartments. Okay. So that is also classified as a building. Then mess, boarding houses, hostels, lodging houses, these all are classified in occupancy A or type A as a residential building. Then occupancy B, that is educational building, or type B is the educational building. Again, educational building are classified in three categories. First one is educational facilities up to higher secondary level, that is the up to HSC level. Second one, facilities for training for above secondary level. म्हणजे HSC पर्यंतची एक लेवल, above HSC there will be another level. Prathamesh, all of you are hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will continue. Above HSC there is one type, above HSC there is one type, and there will be one more type which is called as preschool buildings. Okay, preschool building, all of you know that is childs which are not yet reached to attend the school. That is called as a preschool. Okay, so Now, here in each of these occupancy, there will be a more than 6%, then and then only it is called as a educational building. Okay, more than 6%. That is the criteria over there. Okay. Third one is institution for care. That is the type C or occupancy C. You see, to take care of the children's, or to take care of the adults. That adults may be a dependable or not dependable, but to take care of these, different buildings are provided. We'll see child care center. Is it like this? So these are classified under institution of care. The different categories under that are institution for care of children, institution for care of physically capable adult, institution for care of physically incapable adult, that is dependent and independent adults, then penal institution for children and penal institution for adults. Okay. त्यावेळेस बघा 18 वर्षा खालच्या मुलांना काहीतरी त्यांनी अपराध केलेला असतो, त्यांना त्या चाइल्ड केअर सेंटर मध्ये पाठवलं जातं. ओके, सो दॅट बिल्डिंग्स आर ऑल्सो क्लासिफाइड अंडर institution for care child as well as for adults. Different buildings are there for the care of the adults. Okay, so all these buildings are classified under type C, institution of care. Next one is type D, institution of health care. Okay, now all of you understood by the name itself, healthcare. Okay, again they are classified in two categories, that is the normal medical facilities and emergency medical facilities. Okay, healthcare facilities again classified in two types, normal care and normal medical care and emergency medical care. Okay, in both the types, facilities having surgery, casualties, okay, where the person can, where the arrangement for the living of the person or for not living of the person is provided. Okay, that is, we will say that admitted patients are there. For that sleeping arrangement, all those things will be provided or not provided in both the type of building. That is called as type D building, healthcare building. Next is the type E building, business building. Okay, for the business purpose, it includes, or it is divided into offices, research and testing laboratories, and essential services. Okay, so these are the three categories in business building. Office, this shall include any building or part which is used for paperwork documentation. That then and then only it is, we will call it as office. Is it research and testing laboratories? Okay, they are also classified under the office business building. And last one is for the essential services. Okay, providing emergency services. Different offices are created. Like you will see now during this condition, like COVID-19 condition. Okay, that's essential for the services that offices are created. Okay. Next part, that is the type F. That again is classified in three different categories. That is the small shops and markets, large shops and markets, and refueling stations. That is the petrol pumps, so it's called. Okay, so small shops and markets where the area should not exceed 300 meters square, and large shops and markets where it will exceed over that. Okay, so these are the type F. Then next type is the type G, industrial or occupancy G, industrial building. Now, industrial building are subdivided on the basis of how much hazard it will do, or on the basis of hazard potential. Okay, so that may be a low hazard building and moderate hazard building. Okay, in the two types that industrial building is classified. Next type is the type occupancy H, storage. Storage building may be a low fire risk storage and moderate fire risk storage. Is it? Because in the storage structures, what type of material is stored? Depending on that, if it is explosives and all those things, and it will cause a fire, based on that, it will be classified into low fire risk storage and moderate fire risk storage. Next type is the assembly buildings. Okay, like different assembly halls are there, is it? That Mangal Karyalayas are there. Okay, so that building again classified into large assembly with fixed seat. Please listen carefully. Large assembly with fixed seat, small assembly with fixed seat, and large assembly without fixed seat, small assembly with fixed seats, and sports facilities. Okay, in 5 categories that assembly buildings are classified. Large assembly with fixed seats, where minimum seats are 1000 or more than 1000. Then small assembly with fixed seat, where the fixed seats are 1000 or less than 1000. Sorry, the fixed seats are less than 1000. Then it will be a small assembly with fixed seat. Then large assembly without fixed seat. Okay, but where more than 300 persons can be accommodated. More than 300 persons can be accommodated. Next is the small assembly without fixed seats, where up to 300 persons can be accommodated. Okay, and force facilities. Okay, so these are about the assembly buildings. Next one is the hazardous building. It may be a explosive hazard. That hazardous building again classified into different categories like explosive hazard building, chemical hazard building, biological hazard building, radiation hazard building. Okay, depending on what type of material is stored over there. Okay, it may be a chemical, then it will be a chemical hazardous building. If weapons are there, explosives hazard building. Then different biological material that damage building. Okay, that is the biological hazard building and radiation hazard building. Okay, different material which emits the radiation. Okay, next is the garage. That garage may be a parking garage, private garage, repair garage, and showroom. Okay, parking garage where the buildings can be parts. Okay, private garage. See, first one is the parking garage, where which this type of building solely for the parking of motor vehicle. Okay, for a limited period of time, and repair garage where repair of electrical or other mechanical system can be done. That is the repair garage. And the repair garage and showroom. Okay, that is the repair garage and showroom. And private garage where your own parking is there. You will see some of the bungalows where a separate parking is provided over there. That is the private garage. So next is the utility building. That is the utility building, which provide this type of building will provided for different services. Suppose one public building is there. Suppose we will say one classroom complex is there for IITs or NITs, where 10-story building is there, and for each story there are 5 classroom in each story. All are centralized AC buildings. Then to provide that central AC, for the compressor, a separate structure is provided over there, or separate building is provided over there. So that are called as a utility building or service building, because these particular buildings will provide the services. Okay, so like these buildings are classified in utilities building. And the last classification is the miscellaneous. The buildings which are classified nowhere from A to L are classified in miscellaneous structures. Okay, ज्या कुठल्या बिल्डिंग टाइप ए पासून तर टाइप एल पर्यंत जे काही आता आपण बिल्डिंग बघितल्या यामध्ये क्लासिफाय होत नाही त्या सगळ्या बिल्डिंग एम ऑक्युपन्सी एम दॅट इज द मिससेलेनियस मध्ये क्लासिफाय केल्या जातात. जसे की फेन्सेस, टँक्स, टॉवर्स, वायर फेन्सिंग असेल, वॉटर टँक्स असतील, टॉवर्स असतील, ट्रान्समिशन टॉवर्स लाईन्स असतील, किंवा मोबाईल टॉवर्स असतील, किंवा अजून कुठलं स्पेशल स्ट्रक्चर असेल जे ए टू एल यापैकी कुठल्याही टाइप मध्ये येत नाही, ते टाइप एम मध्ये दॅट इज अंडर द मिससेलेनियस इट इज क्लासिफाइड. Okay, so students, these are the classification of different building as per National Building Code. Regarding this National Building Code, on your Google Classroom, I will share how that will be classified. One PDF is there that I will share on your Google Classroom. Okay, there you will get the details of all these structures. Okay, detail how it will be classified, you will get over there. Okay, we will go to next part. That is a common building component. Okay, that introductory part is there for the common building component. Again, in detail, we are going to study in the unit number 3. But there, only for the doors and windows and arches and lintels, that part is there in unit number 3. Here, for all the building components, introductory part is covered over here. Now, if we consider any building, it is basically divided into two parts. Or if we consider any structure, that is divided into two parts. That it may be a that it is divided into two parts. That is the substructure and the superstructure. Simply, the part of the building below the ground level is called as the substructure. The part of the building which is located below the ground level is called as substructure, whereas the part of the building which is constructed above the ground level is called as superstructure. Now, when we consider a substructure, that is, it is located below the ground level, it is also called as foundation. It is also called as foundation. Okay. And the part of the building which is above ground level is called as superstructure. Again, if we consider the foundation and the superstructure, there are different parts. Like if we consider the superstructure is that part of the building, as I said, which is above ground level and which serves the purpose of building's intended use. That is important. It serves the purpose of building's intended use. ती बिल्डिंग कशासाठी कन्स्ट्रक्ट केली आहे तुम्ही? इंडस्ट्रियल बिल्डिंग आहे, त्यासाठी कन्स्ट्रक्ट केली आहे. मग तिथं कुठला प्रोडक्ट मॅन्युफॅक्चर करायचं आहे, ते ऍक्च्युअल प्रोडक्टचं मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग हे सुपरस्ट्रक्चर ह्या बिल्डिंगच्या पार्टमध्ये होणार आहे. ओके, तिथे जर तुम्हाला तुमचे बंगलो असेल किंवा एज्युकेशनल बिल्डिंग असेल, लेक्चर्स घ्यायचे तर क्लासरूम ते ऍक्च्युअल लेक्चर्स तिथे घेतले जाणार आहे तुम्हाला. ओके, सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज द superstructure. Okay, and these are the different components, right, from the plinth and staircase. These are the different components of the building. Okay, okay students, we'll stop over here. I will record the attendance. Till that time no one will leave. Okay, I will record the attendance.
Okay.